Welcome, everyone. We are live. I think we are. Let me get myself all situated here. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late here. Switched everything to go live, and then my microphone wasn't even plugged in. Excuse the mess in the background. My whole studio here is going over yet another little revamp and relayout, trying to get the optimal layout here for my creativity and all that stuff. Anyways, as I said, this is the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and every day we get together at some time, in time between, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and we get to work on building ourselves a company that we are working to build towards making us $1 million in revenue every single year. That's what we're trying to build, and we have just launched Pixel Pieces, which is our Webflow template and component library. And we are pretty pumped about that, releasing that. And we need to get started on updating content for that application, for that product. And we need to start making components. We need to start making templates for that. And to do that, we want to have a very good starting point, which is going to be our style guide, which I'm just bringing up right here, which we did work on this about a month and a half ago, a little while now, actually. So we kind of put this out there as well, too. So you can actually clone this thing right now in Webflow. But what I wanted to do was we built this style guide, and then we started getting to work on the actual component library and building all the components and building actual pixel pieces using the style guide. And there's a few things here that I want to change that are more suited to my style and things that I like to do and how I like to work. And yeah, because there's just a lot of things here that are just a little bit extra that I know I don't use. And so, but the question is going to be, how much should I take away, because this is going to be a style guide that we're going to publish for other people to use too. But again, our big thing is not building a style guide. So if people want to use the ClientFirst Styleguide as is out the box, they can certainly clone that style guide. So anyways, we'll just do a little bit of work here to kind of clean this up, because what I'm trying to do is create a perfect launch point and starting point for all the templates that we're going to have moving forward with Pixel Pieces, at least this year, to create a style guide that's perfect for how I work and how I'm going to be building all these other templates and components as well too. Rolando, greetings. Happy New Year to you as well. Welcome. Hope your dreams and goals come true this year. Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. May God give you health, love, money, and time to enjoy it. That would be phenomenal too. So thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Kevin, howdy to you as well. And of course, Rolando and Kevin and everyone else, Happy New Year to you, and wishing you guys all the success and happiness, wealth, everything, all that stuff in 2024 and beyond. And hopefully this year is not as crazy as people are saying it's going to be. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I just try to focus on the things that I can focus on and the things that I can change. And that's kind of myself. So, yeah. So with all that being said, let's get to work. Okay. So what things did I notice in the style guide that I'm not particularly fond of? Well, I shouldn't say that's stuff that I'm not particularly fond of, but I think it's things that I know I don't use, or I use them differently than how they're laid out here. So one of the biggest issues that I found myself having, and something that I didn't like, is the use of small, medium, and large, and not knowing what exactly those refer to. Because I remember it was like, oh, padding section large. Okay, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for the padding? So they're numbers. So I think I'm going to change these to actual numbers for the padding. Heading styles are fine. Buttons are fine too. I don't have a problem with the buttons. Text classes. Yeah, so here, I need to think about this. So here's, we updated this because the idea here was to use like these names to know, like the variable names to know what the value is for the text sizes. And that way anybody could go into the variables panel right here and update them to whatever makes sense for them. But the problem with that is if you're going in one project and then it's like text small, and then, which is say 1 REM, and then somebody else has another project and then it's, 1.5 REM, then it's just, everything's out of sync, right? So there's an issue with that. Be careful with the trap of perfection. Yes, if you expect everything to be immaculate before launching, you'll never launch. 100%. And actually, I guess what I want to do here and what's on my mind is that I don't want to make it perfect. I actually kind of want to strip things away and make it perfect for me, if that makes any sense, because this is going to be the base that I'm going to be using to build all of my templates moving forward. That is, again, it's just going to probably strip off all the things that are in ClientFirst that I put in initially that I realize are just not for me in terms of how I build. But yes, 100%, I definitely don't want things to be perfect or try to make things perfect, which is why I want to get this done today and just spend a couple hours on it and then it's done. See, because I love this text weight 800, like it's just perfect. You just know exactly what it's going to be. So the text alignments, those are good. Text color, I think I like that. Again, the same thing here for padding. Right, so what we're gonna do, yeah. So I got these bottom classes and all these margins. Yeah, because I think it's trying to be everything for everyone, which is not the case. Kevin, you might have some thoughts on this though as well. Is say in pixel pieces, there's a theme that you really want to use or a template, and you're like, oh, I want to build a website with this. And then the style guides are slightly different from ClientFirst in that instead of using, padding, what is used, padding left and then padding small, it's going to be padding left 2 or something like that. So the class names are going to be a little bit different. Is that going to be something where you'd be like, yeah, you know what? This isn't using ClientFirst 100%. So like I'm out. Is that a deal breaker in a sense? Because I remember like looking at these, having to put padding direction and then padding sizing. Those are 2 classes. And then to have anything more than that would be, you're basically stacking, you're having too many CSS classes in one style. And then you just want to create a new style for that. So then it really within your design in the navigator, you're just basically having a bunch of div tags that are specifically for adding extra padding or margins. And I hate that. I hate extra stuff that doesn't need to be there. So that's what I want to try to avoid here. So anyways, we'll try it out. I mean, we can always go back. Okay, so what are we going to do here? I'm going to remove this one. Is this the... Right, so let's just hide this for now. And then that's this one. And this one here. Yeah, we're going to hide this one. So we basically just have padding top and padding bottom. Padding top, padding bottom, and margins as well. So we're going to hide that one. Then we're going to hide this one. And spacers, yeah. I never really use spacers, but we might want to, we might still want to. Tiny, I got that. Yeah, you think it could stop some people. It's almost learning a new system. So the thing that I like, my biggest thing is the spacing and how that's used. And that's my issue. Oh, here's an interesting comment. Sam, how you doing? Happy New Year. The next ClientFirst update is doing away with the spacers in favor of flexbox and grid gap. Yeah, well, there you go. Look at that. Well, that would be interesting, the flexbox. So that means they're going to want all the content to be wrapped in flexbox and grid. See, this is the problem, at least for me personally, of why I have a hard time adopting someone else's standards. Because number one, I have to wait for them to do it, which is annoying. I can't just do it myself. But then number two, yeah, there's issues like this. Well, I don't like that, and then I want to change it. Then it's like, well, if other people are using it, that's why things, like I remember just like Bootstrap. I don't know if you guys ever used Bootstrap or any of these other frameworks, especially with CSS frameworks. I always hated them. Not because of the fact that I don't think they were good or what have you. They just, I'd always be constrained by someone else's thoughts and ideas in terms of how they should build or how a website should be built. Anyways, so that's interesting. So ClientFirst, I wonder, so if they're going to do away with all that kind of stuff. So maybe what I can do even is I could start building these templates without using ClientFirst for major, what's the word I'm looking for? Like any kind of like major layout principles, right? Or structures. So, you know, having things like the text is good, the colors are good. I think that's fine. I don't think that's going to be changing, but just all this padding and margin stuff. I think, yeah, if that's going to be changing. Okay, so shit, what should we do if that's the case? What I'm thinking now is I'm completely reevaluating and rethinking the fact of having a pixel pieces style guide if this is going to be an issue of constantly having to update things whenever a client first comes around to updating their thing. Shit. No, I think what we're going to do, shit. Part of me now just wants to get rid of all spacing stuff and just not having it in here. And then when it does get here, we can just easily put them in and there shouldn't be any conflicts with any classes and any of that kind of stuff. And just keep this style guide super minimal in terms of just being like HTML elements and maybe some basic structure. Maybe. Yeah. That might be the way to go. Yeah. So the the problem that I guess that I have in my mind, and it could just be me overthinking things, is that if my own flavor gets too far beyond what they're creating, then it becomes potentially a bottleneck in people adopting pixel pieces as their Webflow component / template library of choice. Because I don't think very many people, I mean, it's hard to say. I'm just thinking for me now, is I don't think very many people are going to want to have multiple, well, they might, like multiple subscriptions to different component libraries. But that being said, if Pixel Pieces is a buy once and then you just have access to it, then if there's good enough templates, it might be worth the cost of buying Pixel Pieces, but also having Reloom, Flowbase, whatever the case may be, as well as a subscription model. Yeah. Rolando, there's something I don't understand. Why do you use personal styles in systems designed for the general public? I'm not quite sure what you mean in terms of personal styles. Are you actually talking about like the personal, like the CSS styles, or are you talking about something different? So maybe if you could just expand on that a little bit. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how to answer that question. And I think you mean, and if you're speaking to the templates that I want to build, so yeah, I mean the templates are going to be for the general public, but I want them all to be consistent in the flavor of like how we like to do things here at Pixel Pieces. Of course, I'm just talking we. It's just me, but there's specific ways that I want to build these websites so that it makes the most sense for me in terms of how to maintain them and to continue to build off of that style, I guess. Okay, so yeah, the heading styles will be fine, and maybe the text classes will be fine. Okay, I think so. You're expecting clients to adapt to your nomenclature and way of naming classes when you should be using industry standards nomenclature. Yeah, I mean that's what the whole client first is. The client first is a community-wide kind of established guidelines for Webflow. There's a few other ones, but it seems that client first seems to be the most popular one. So I'm definitely using their nomenclature for most things, but I think there's just some things that for me and probably for other people, it just doesn't work as well as it should, which is why what Sam was saying, that they're going to be updating their whole spacers and like margins and padding, their whole kind of layout stuff. They're changing it and they're updating it completely because they probably are finding people like me or whatever that are using it are finding issues with it and it doesn't really work well. So it's almost like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example in WordPress. I can't really think of anything. Yeah, I can't really think of anything in WordPress because WordPress is just kind of PHP stuff, which isn't so much of my forte. Yeah, I don't know. I guess because if you're building a plugin in WordPress, I mean, yeah, there could be some industry standards that you could use in terms of how you're laying out your CSS, but at the end of the day, you have to build something that's going to work for your plugin. And if at the end of the day that plugin does what it needs to do, then I think the customers are going to be happy enough with it. If it does what it needs it to do, and it gives the functionality that they want in their website. So, so yeah, and a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but there could be a big chunk of people that are going to go on to Pixel Pieces, and they're just going to want a website, and they're not going to care. They're not even going to know what ClientFirst is. They're like, I just need a website, and they can just come in and just buy one, and then off to the races. So, so yeah, I guess maybe I'm trying to dip in, keeping a lot of people, as many people happy as I possibly can. But yeah. Okay, so text size. We're going to keep the text sizes. We're going to keep this text styles. Yeah, I love all this stuff. Let's get rid of, I'm actually going to get rid of all the padding stuff. So what we can do is when ClientFirst comes out with their new, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, their new way of doing layouts, then we get adopted into this ClientFirst. But for now, this is going to be a very bare bones ClientFirst. I hope this is gonna work, but we'll see. If it ends up I don't like it, I can always just revert back. This is just spacers. Actually, this whole margins, I guess, can go. Yeah, so we'll have utility, which is still very useful. Grids, which are kind of my own grids, which I like to use. Let's see what else we have. All right, padding, that's all hidden. We'll get rid of those. Utility color, text, buttons. And then the only thing I think is structure. So let's... and I think this is... I think we can keep this. I think we can keep this. Because for structure, small, medium, large, that's not so bad. Because what we can do in our... let's go in this one. Container small in this class. Yeah, we do have this as a variable, which is perfect. And I think we have that for our container small, medium, large, which is perfect. And then do we also, whoops. That's not where I wanted to go. We will go in our, where were we? Oh, now it's not editing. Okay. Design here, please. Thank you. And I think it was, no, still in structure. Let me click on something. There we go. Oh, yes, and padding, section small, section medium. What do we have for those? We do have these as a global style. Interesting. Oh, that's for padding global. What about padding section small? That is padding section small. That's at 2, so that's even not even correct. So I think what we need is we need different variables here. We have a variable for container, and I think we should have a variable then for padding. So we can go padding. Oh, whoa, that's just searching. Sorry. New variable. Size. Oh, sorry. Let me zoom in here. Okay, exit of that. New variable. Size. Oops, I've already created one. Padding. And I think we just have small, medium, large, right? Where's padding? There it is, padding small. And I think we want that. Is that correct? Padding section small, medium, and large. 3, 6, and 12. That works. Go back here. And this is padding dash medium. And one more new variable. Padding section, padding dash large. And that is going to be, oh, it didn't stick. I think that was 12. Padding dash, large. Enter. Oh, interesting. It doesn't. I can't reorder these, can I? I'm going to do this. I want that one to be first, just so it's in order for my own insane brain. Medium 6. Okay. Sent me the updates on the CF changes. Oh, nice, on Twitter. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to have a look at that and see what they have to say. And then maybe that can help make some decisions. Actually, maybe I should check that out right now. Anyways, yeah, have a good one. And nice to see you. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one. So let's have a look at that. Twitter. Where's Twitter? I think there's a place for notifications. Messages. That's probably what it is. Look at this, guys. This is interesting. December 14th. VULT requests. Oh, interesting. This VULT request is initiated by FinSuite and Reloom. Proposes packages of updates to improve the current version. VULT has decided, yes. Enhance project style guide with variables. Hey, that's my idea. No. This is interesting, though. But they're not going to do it because there's no breakpoints features. That's interesting. Well, they're starting with colors, of course. Yeah. Not for sizes. Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. Semantic variables to give more context to developers. Light, dark, primary. Hey, that's what I have. I think that's what I have. So look at that. Look at that. Reduce nesting divs and element count. Use less layers of divs in the project. One layer in each section while maintaining the powerful core structure. Padding global, padding section large. Oh, so it has 2 instead of having 2. Okay, cool. Suggestion to use grid flex gap instead of spacing. Yeah, so then everything is in, yeah. An effort to reducing nesting. Yeah, this is good that they're actually taking feedback from the community, which is really, really good. Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. Rename to follow Webflow naming. Okay. Utility classes for aspect ratio. Okay. Add new inherent color utility class. Ah. Interesting. How are they achieving that though? Well, that's interesting. I'm sure when your library is public, you can get a seat to vote for these. Oh, really? So it wasn't even just open to the general public to vote on this? I should be up to date on these guys and what they're doing, and kind of follow them or join their Slack or whatever the case may be. 12 vote, 12 to, oh, so they only have like 12 people. So was it like a board of directors? Unanimous decision. And this looks like this is through their Slack. This is a Slack channel. Oh, so there's 3 people on like the Reloom like board. Oh, that's kind of cool. FinSuite, as a community, they all get 1 vote. Interesting. The Reloom community gets a vote. The translators get a vote, right? Twitter public. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's really cool. So I'm liking this a whole lot more. And I think this number 2 is going to be huge, because I've already noticed that this, like using Flex is how I do my gaps for things. So this is going to be cool. Yeah, looking forward to that. But I totally love the fact of not using variables for these containers. Which is actually really interesting. So now I'm wondering if I should do the same and not have them in variables, but have the colors in there as well. Huh. Very interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like yeah, because if it's a variable, then you have to break. Yeah, so then you have to break it. Okay, we'll stick with the general, like the general consensus, because I could see it for me myself. Maybe I know what I'd want to do in specific breakpoints or whatever, but for this one, let's keep it out. I could see that. Okay, so let's break this one, 50, and we'll break this one out as well. Whoops, we'll keep it at 70. Where did it go? Okay, and they have no breakpoints for these as well. So padding global. So we're gonna do that because ClientFirst have. Do they have a ClientFirst? Or do they have a ClientFirst? Do they have a global padding? I don't think they have anything here in variables, which they don't. So let's go to style guide and let's go to not the padding. Where is it? Did I pass it? Yes, here we go. Padding global. So they have this padding global. It's just set 2.5. So I think that's just the padding on. Yeah, I like that because that padding 2, that should pretty much be the same. Depending, well, I guess maybe if you are on mobile, on a phone, you might want to have it be like 1 instead of 2.5 or something. Okay. All right. But how easy is it? If you go on here, oh yeah, you can unlink it through here anyways, even if it's not in a variable. So that's fine. That's not that big of a deal. So let's keep this as our variable, which is our global padding. Okay, now that's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Padding section small. And we are going to, and yeah, I guess we'll unlink these for now, just to be consistent, and maybe to limit the size of our variables panel. Padding section medium. So let's unlink this. Yeah. Let's try to get through this as quickly as possible, because then we want to get into the actual good stuff and start making some good products here. And then a lot of the work that I'm going to be doing for making videos, guys, and all that kind of stuff, I'm doing that off stream. But if it's something that you're interested in and seeing my whole process of like writing scripts and researching and whatever, if you want me to do that work while being on screen, definitely happy to do that. So just let me know, because it's really whatever, might be interesting to you guys. Let's put that at 10. It doesn't have to be so large. Okay. So that's good for, these, for the structure. And we have our text color. Right. And I guess we'll keep this naming convention for the text classes. Yeah, because I'm not the biggest fan of small, medium, large, as I was saying initially, but I think with this, I like the ability to keep using client first, but to deviate project by project what the actual text size is going to be. If that's even going to be a thing, I don't even know how often someone's going to want to do that. To actually, instead of small being 0.875, it's going to be 1 in this project, and large is going to be 2 instead of 1.25. I don't know how often that's going to be a thing, but you never know. So we'll keep it in, because I think, what do these guys use for text? I can't remember. Text classes. They have tiny, small, medium, regular, large. So I think we actually have more. I think we have more. Yeah, tiny, small, regular, medium, large, extra large, huge, extra huge. Yeah, I tend to vary my font sizes quite a bit, so maybe that's why. Okay, so I think, are we good? So I think what we need to do in here is we don't have padding anymore. We don't have margin, and we don't have spacers. And the utilities are going to be changing. And we have grids. And the grids themselves, the grids have a column gap of whatever the variable is for the padding, global, which is good. Okay, so let's go into our variables. And I think we could delete these ones, right? How do we delete these things? Here we can delete. Okay. and sizing. So I think this could all be deleted as well too, because I'm pretty sure the sizing was for all the spacers and the padding and all that kind of stuff. And then what's left with is our text sizing. Okay, so yeah, so let's get rid of these. Clean things up. Oh, stop asking me to fill in stuff. This is not a password field. Okay, so we have our colors, we have our container, we have our defaults, global padding, we got our line height, we have our font family, we have our heading font, we have the default font size, default font color, heading color, global grid spacing. Oh, global grid spacing is different from the global padding here. Okay. So we'll keep that in there for now, and we'll see if I want to change that. I think I like that. And we have our container, large, medium, and small. Right, but we got rid of these as well. So delete, delete, delete. Okay, so that's saved. So if you go here, and I think okay, let's go into our change log. And I guess we need to what? Put in another version? What do we do? Change log entry. No, not there. We want to do another line here. I think we're going to have to go like this. No, now it's doing 2 lines. Let's look at the code here for a second. This is the change log. It's got padding around it, but we need to do that around the entry itself. So remove that. Go to the entry itself. And we're going to use global padding, of course. And we're going to go to the bottom one, and we're going to give this one a border on the bottom. What color was it? It was probably a really light color. Probably the lightest, eh? And let's get rid of this one here. Okay, now paste. That's what we want. Okay, perfect. So, oh geez, I don't even know what to do with these numbers. So I just kind of made them up. Okay, what are we today? We are January 2nd, 2024. So what did we do? We removed all margins and paddings from the style guide. What else did we do? What else did we do? I mean, that's kind of it, isn't it? Removed all margins, paddings, and spacers from the style guide. And then we removed most size variables from the variables panel. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. That's what we did. Was there anything else that we did? utility and grid. Yeah, that's good. Although we'll put this at 20. Oh, I don't know, guys. I'm just making up those numbers. Because I guess once we get to like an actual full-on actual version that we're really happy with, we'll call it 1 or maybe even 0.5. Whatever. Okay, so, and what we can do, I guess we can publish this. Because this actually is somewhere, right? It's on Webflow, right? So, but where do we go to get that access to that? That's what I don't remember what to do. Right, here it is. So it's at pixel. So we go to the view the details. So it's right here. Cool. And now, I mean, and then we should be able to see here, open up the live site. Oh, which just goes to here, which should gives us to the changelog. Yeah, okay, so it has the updated stuff. Oh, you know, one thing that we didn't do is I didn't clean up all the, I can't do it here. I have to do it here. We have to, what am I looking for? Just right here. We just got to clean up all of this garbage. Remove all that stuff. Okay. Oh, but it's got all this margin bottom stuff on here. That's interesting. We might have to do we'll do some little cleaning up with all that stuff. And that'll be like a version 0.21 or something like that. Or we got to clean up all those styles. That's cool. Ooh, viewed 48 times. That's cool. Oh, 2 hearts. Look at that. It's so cool. All right. So pumped. So pumped. Okay. So maybe should I clean it up now? Oh, I feel like maybe I should clean it up now in the sense that I want to put together, like we're going to start building our templates, right? So it probably makes sense to have a look. Okay, let's have a look at this style guide. Just real quick, if there's anything that we need to take a look. I think the only thing is, let's look at our classes. Let's look at like bottom. So we got margin bottom a few places. So we have pixel style guide heading sub. All right, but this is one, that's the last one. So instead of doing that, because yeah, so we have the heading. This is actually, hang on. Pixel style guide section, header, and then the content. The header here has a margin of 7. I think what we need to do we should probably use Flex to lay this out, because we have right, so we have this section here, Pixel Style Guide section. This one's being displayed as a grid though. Of course this one is. I guess they all are. What kind of grid is it? It's a 1x1 grid. So, well, we could do the same thing. So we can just give it a gap here of the rows of 6. And then I think we want to have a padding here on the bottom on all of these things to separate them from the other one. So that should be, I feel like I'm missing a class, but let's take a look at what they were saying here. Padding global and then padding section large. Right. Padding global, and then we're just going to have to go with padding section, I think large, which is 10. That might be too much. Let's go padding section medium, which then is 6, which I think works really, really well. Perfect. Padding section medium. All right, hang on a second. Let's clear out some styles here. Remove. Excellent. Actually, this one is fine as is, except I would like to have this one have something on the bottom. Oh, but instead, what can I do? Right, I can still do there. That's a little hacky, but that's okay. Oh, hang on. There's a little issue right here. So this section, this one has another section. This container large. It has this section and then this section. We should almost have this one in a grid as well too. If I throw this in a grid, that'll give at least a little bit of space. And that's kind of all we want. Rich text. Heading styles. Buttons. So why is this one? This one needs to have it's padding, text size. This one here also needs to be in a grid. And I almost know that this one here, this one here is going to need to be in a grid as well to separate out these colors. And utility. Perfect. And grid. And that's it. Okay. Clear out some no unused styles. Do I have anything like margin. So I still have some things here. Oh, on the changelog page. Let's take a look. And where did I use that? Here we go. Pixel style guide, title, subtitle. Okay. This actually looks like it doesn't do anything, probably because I don't know. Oh, because I think I put some extra padding on something, but what? This one has a margin of 4. Right, and then the padding. Okay, yep. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Another bottom. Margin bottom 2 on the home page. On this page. Right, so we can go in here and we can add this. We can put this in a grid, which might help. Pixel style guide title. And we can remove that margin. And let's see what that does to here, though. We'll throw this in a grid as well. There we go. Okay, I like that. Sorry, guys. I know this is kind of boring, but I'm just going to try to get all this stuff sorted out. Bottom, margin bottom 2. Okay, let's clear that. Yeah, remove. Okay, looks like we don't have anything else anymore. Which is good. So margin bottom, looks like nothing's showing up. And then there's also padding bottom. Oh, all good. So let's actually just go to the changelog page again. And let's just add another item here. Okay, and we'll say updated layout to remove old margins and padding. There we go. Okay, so we can publish that again. Okay. So now we have this, and what we want to do, let's go to our dashboard here. Let's go to pixel pieces. And can we create a folder within here? I know you go to all sites, and I could, if I create a new folder, I mean, I could call it templates. But can I? You can't create folders within folders. Well, that kind of sucks. So let's go back to all sites again. So I guess we have pixel pieces stuff, and I guess we're just gonna have to throw it in here. So here's the style guide, and what I want to duplicate this, copy everything, duplicate it. Is it going to tell me? Here it is. So we're going to call this member flow, and I'm going to put this in templates. And let's save it. So sorry, this is pretty small. So let's go back here. Okay, so we have our templates. And forms. I think we want publishing. We want this to be member flow. Ah, it's already taken. That's brutal. What's going on here? Memberflow.webflow.io. Learn how to create a manageable and successful Webflow membership and subscription website in as little as 1 to 2 days, even if you are new to Webflow membership integrations. MemberFlow is a brand and product belonging to the Flow.agency. Let's take a look here. All right. Is your partner in launching your next Webflow website, Shopify store, or no-code project? Okay. What is this? What is this V? Oh, this is bothering me. I should know what that... Should I know what that is? I don't know what that is. Okay, well... Okay, well, they're not going to get rid of that domain or that name. So I need to come up with another name for this. So I guess what I want to say here is that we are building, one of the first templates that we're going to be building is a template that is going to help you create your own membership site and post the things that are like member only, and probably be focused on publications for written word, like a newsletter or blog post, and a podcast and a video as well, and private videos. So, and that's going to be a membership subscription community or whatever to build. So, and why are we building that? Because I need one. So I'm going to build that as a template. But what do we call it? So we need a name for it. So the other template library, or the other template that we're building, I get my terminology down. The other template that we're building is Naked Flow, which is going to be our bare bones, completely naked template to launch or build a website. Leaning heavily into the days of WordPress when there was Naked Press and all these kind of stripped down to its bare bones core for starting your new project in WordPress. And we want to do the same thing for Webflow. But anyways, right now we need to come up. So that's going to be called Naked Flow. So member flow would have been really cool. But we can't do that now because the name's taken. I mean, we can still call it member flow. It just needs to be a different domain. Which I guess could be whatever it is that we want. I mean, can we do member dash flow? I guess we can. That kind of sucks, but whatever. Yeah. That's a real bummer. Early adopters plan free. Like, when was this? In 2020? Copyright 2020. Early adopters plan. And like, there's nothing here. Sign up today with your free. There's nothing here. Release the domain. Okay. Well, anyways, whatever. Well, it is what it is. And we'll just get to work on creating this. Okay. So here's the other thing too, is now that we have, so this is going to be our member flow, right? So yeah, this is our homepage. We're going to need a new homepage, and we're going to have to kind of put all this kind of stuff off to the side. I'm just trying to think of how we should get started here with the style guide. And I think maybe the idea would be to either hide this page, like unpublish it, and then just put it as style guide or what have you. And then, just create a new homepage. So I think what we'll do, maybe right before we do the, before we do the member flow, we'll do naked flow, because that one, I want to release that one for everyone as well too. So if we can get that out sooner rather than later, like in the next day or two, because it is going to be a stripped down, bare bones website, we'll do that and just release that out into the world so people can have access to that one. So yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay, so I like the way the style guide is at. It's super simple now. It's a lot more clean. It's a lot more simplified, and yeah. And we'll see. I'm sure it's going to change. And it brings me back to the one thing that I would really love to figure out how to do, is that if you change one style on one project, say it's on, let me bring it out here. It's on the style guide. If we change the style guide, can you link it up so that whatever project you have that is using this style guide can get those changes automatically, to have some type of sync or even a button to sync? I'm going to ask a friend of mine if he can help with that, because that would be amazing, because that's always been my biggest concern, is being able to link your style guides together, which I don't think, as far as I know, no one has built anything like that yet. So we'll see. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it here, and we're going to get to the template tomorrow, now that our style guide is kind of organized, and then we'll just go from there. And thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Very much appreciate it. Again, if there's anything that you want to see me work on in terms of building the business, whether it's what the marketing efforts are going to be or just seeing me do some work in Webflow, whatever the case, just let me know. Send me a comment, email, whatever the case may be. And whatever it is that you guys want me to work here on stream, I'll definitely do that, because I basically work all day on this business, right? So whatever I stream here is just kind of like a small bit of what it is that I do every day here at Pixel, and with the unconventional mindset, and all the different things that that I'm trying to build. So, Study Vibes, hello, welcome. I was just about to end the stream, but thank you so much for joining me. I was just about signing off here. But welcome. I'll ask you while you're here, what brings you to the stream? What brings you here today? And it's always great to see some new faces because I don't think I've seen you here before. So it's always great to see what people are interested in. And like I was saying, what are the things that you guys would like to see me work on this stream as we work towards our goal of building this company to $1 million company. Which we're getting there. We were at 10% last year, so we made 100,000. This year our goal is to make 250,000, and then maybe by year 3 we'll reach that $1 million mark. That's what we're going towards. So yeah, just even looking back, just want to see if there's any other comments that come through here. If we go back to, let me just bookmark this one. If we go back to our other template, where is it? Oh, we need to go into the dashboard. So yeah, we started it here. But right, we just kind of left it here because we weren't quite sure exactly how minimal to go. But I do have a better idea of where I want to go with this now. All right. Okay, we can get, yeah, and it has, see, it has the old style guide, which we need to update. So yeah, that's kind of annoying, but we'll get there. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Not seeing any more comments here coming in, so I'm going to end it here for today. Once again, thank you so much for joining. Let me know in the chat, comments, emails, whatever, what you guys want to see here on the stream, and I'll do my best. Until then, take it easy, and we'll be back at it tomorrow as we continue on building our $1 million company. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.